Howdy folks, Zelgrax here, welcome back to more Europa Universalis 4. We are playing as France, and well, I made a boo-boo. Let's just grab some stab here. Okay, so once again, we are doing backwards recording, as it were. We're currently in, what, 3 wars against the Great Horde, Crimea, and Denmark? Denmark? Why are we at war? Oh, that's the Swedish Independence War, got it. So we're just trying to figure out how much land to take from Crimea here. It is 1492, so this is likely to be the last video, I reckon. There's a long way to go. But 8 years, realistically though, because of the way it works, you don't actually have 8 years at all. Because, one, you only get through the end of 1499, which is checking... okay, so let's check with the Great Horde what we're going to take here. And obviously you want to give yourself access to as much land as possible. So that's key here. I'm not sure why it's saying that there's only 3% war score here. We have the capital. I think it's because the war goal's not captured. But I mean, that's staggering that the capital's gone, but you're showing that. I don't know, it seems wrong. But yeah, so you have to have everything done by December 31st, 1499. And if you don't, then you don't get the achievement. That's it. We're looking at what we can do with AQ here. They're causing a pain. I don't remember which war they're in, whether it's Crimea or Great Horde, but well. Currently working to take down the Uzbek capital. Uzbek land's not really important to us, I don't think. I think some of them might be, we're just checking now. If they're in the Ural, then they are Europe. But yeah, so the Uzbek capital is in Asia, therefore not relevant. Just piece them out and move on. Got too many other fights. I just noticed someone down there just took care of the rebels, which is very kind of them. Okay, so we have the war go back and we're up to 11%. That's still a bit low. Obviously we're going to need to get higher than that. And there are some rebels, so we'll just quickly go and stop them. And then we can go deal with what we were going to deal with, which is going to AQ by the looks of it. We have permission to travel through Imereti and the Ottomans, but not Georgia, so let's get that. That's kind of fun. Alright, and we should just be able to sit on that capital and boom, we're done. Hopefully. Let's see how it works out. Okay, we lost the Swedish Independence War. What a shame. It cost us nothing, so it's fine. The timing of that just didn't work out. Had we have been able to time it better, if we weren't already just had all the troops over here, we could have potentially, there we go, just piece out AQ for nothing, get them out of the war. So now we just have Uzbek and Nogai as extra members of these wars. But yeah, if we were able to time that independence war better with Sweden, we could have hopped over, taken land from Norway, and left Sweden to rot. But alas, I'm not going to lose 400 ducats of my own money, absolutely not. That looks like Denmark, but it's not. It's Karabakh, apparently, who are right there. Hadn't heard of them before. Okay, so we've got to go siege back territory. And Nogai look like they're wanting to peace out here. Okay, that's the Uzbek capital down, so we can now roll on through. And as soon as we're out of their land, peace them out. Gonna go splat this little stack here from Crimea. So again, just looking to see. So obviously everything that's in Central Asia is part of Asia. And that's that Nogai land as well. So there's really no value from getting anything from Nogai. Oh, that was cannons we took. Nice. Somehow Crimea got themselves black flagged. Don't know how they did that. Look how slow that army is coming back from Uzbek. Could try to take something, but we just want them out. Getting an Amazon delivery. Alright, so we're going to full annex the Grey Horde? Question mark? And make them give up some of their cores? Yeah? Kind of looks like that's what we're doing. Alrighty. French Caucasia looking a bit chunkier now. You like to see that. Just yoink that dev, send it on home, and then we can core up. A little bit there too. Why not? I think there were a couple there that we couldn't core because we're still at war with Crimea. That's my guess. Just grab a little prestige. No guy should want out here. Indeed they do. Again, could have taken a little bit of money or something, but we're happy just to get them out of the war. And then go to town sieging down Crimea. Nice general. Well, we are only at 6 of 9 relations. Maria looking very good there. Claim is strong. Talking about what we have to do still, and there's Kandar there that needs to be annexed, which we can do as soon as we finish this war. But timing is tricky. Just setting up a little bit of autonomous carpet sieging. For the two different armies we have over here. On reflection, we probably should have just split that army. And they as soon as they went there, they lost their general, of course. So let's grab another one. Barthélemy. I think I was just marveling at how good these generals keep being. Got pretty far through influence there. There's a cat behind me doing something. You can hear the noise. Probably want to go deal with those rebels, I would imagine. Oh, I'm actually accidentally going to catch Crimea on the way through. Well, isn't that lovely? So they're down to 67% now and low war enthusiasm. Very low. We'll take a little bit of unrest in Paris because that's probably not going to do anything. Problem is, as long as this keeps going, that's a nice bonus there, though. Hey, excuse me, average 6780, and indeed Hoss. Thank you very much for following. I do enjoy history. Yes. I'm not a big history buff, but I just like knowledge in general, and so E4 is fun because it just lets me expand my knowledge. For instance, my knowledge of geography is a lot better as a result. But yeah, I do enjoy some of the historical aspects. I was actually just watching Les Mis recently. Again, watched it a whole bunch. And realizing that I don't know a lot about that period of history. In particular, like, you know, that happens sort of late 1700s into the 1800s, which obviously is right at the end of EU4. And, you know, it's sort of like after the original French Revolution, there's like this second revolution, I guess. Yeah, it's just, I realized that I didn't know as much as I expected to. Just trying to decide what to take here from Crimea. And something that I'm realizing watching back is that you want to be careful not to snake too much, and make sure that you can core all the land you're taking at once. Because what you don't want to be in a situation of is taking cores that, or taking land that you have to wait to core something else before you can then core the next thing. So kind of going out in little layers, like an onion, is the way to go, I think. So yes, we're having some slight coring problems here. We're just going to yoink all the dev again and send it back home. Power should be pretty potent by this point. I don't know if I'm going to go check that, probably not. But power should be pretty stonking. Also, if you can see the fact that my hands are here and I'm still doing things, just be aware I'm actually re-recording my audio for this episode because I made a boo-boo, and when I was recording this, I had somehow left myself on mute. So I'm watching it back. Now, the question is, when does this finish? 1502. That is not good enough. 1502 is the wrong side of 1499. But that's all the dev we can yoink. So this is a problem. Because we need that land in. Oh, it's changed to French Pontic Steppe, look. Yeah, it's still January. So that's more than 2 years too slow right now. Once the overextension and annex subjects drops off, when annex subjects drops off, 1498, oof, that's tight. But once those two drop off, then this will speed up significantly. But it is not a good situation to be in. Yeah. But now we're in a situation where we can pivot and try to figure out where else we can take land. Currently we are sitting at 58 cores. Now, that's 58, but there's cores on the way. So it's 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. All of that, we could take another bunch there. Kandar as well is another 8 or so. And here we're looking to see if there's any way that we can get the Burgundian inheritance to pop in our favor. That is such a tricky event. But if it fires right, not only can you take all of that, you can get Burgundy to fall under you, but there's a second event that will let you just immediately inherit all of that land. And if that fires right for you as France, it can give you so much land, some of which comes to you cored, as it's just original French cores anyway. And some of it, if you're inheriting land, just like when you annex a vassal, you kind of assume their cores as well. So that would count. For instance, when we would integrate Kandar there, all of their land would be cored immediately, as long as they have cored it. So it is important. I'm just currently looking to find avenues where I can expand. Looking at Aragon, but Aragon under Castile. That's not looking good. Castile are our ally. We do have claims down in the south of France here against Provence, without bringing Bohemia, and no one's willing to fight on our side, in part because Castile are in another war. And then we could fight against the Pope, but Pope might be my ally. I've lost track. Bohemia has a lot of friends, so we're not taking them on. Ormond we take on, put us at war with England again. Scotland would join. This is fine. Those are actually really good odds. Could take land from England too. Just need a claim against Ulster. Sorry, Ormond. And could even co-belligerize England. And that brings in... Look at that. That brings in Clancarade, Ulster. That would be all of Ireland. That all of the remaining parts of Ireland would be called into that. Burgundy kind of useless. They don't want to join in this war. But that's a very nice war for us right there. England have no powerful allies. That's really weird. No Portugal, no Castile, no, well, can't have Aragon. But no Denmark, no Austria, nobody. Currently looking to see what we can do to get Burgundy into a better place. And so, taking on a couple of big loans so that we could take on their debt. We're going to come back from Kazan and Muscovy because while that is an option, we haven't even finished coring over there, so it's going to take a while before we could actually do any work there. So, bringing the troops back from France. And we're going to go and deal with our Western European ambitions and just leave the East for a while. And I feel like this is what you have to do. You have to constantly balance these two. Unfortunately, our merchant died there. It's alright, we'll get another one. This is Munster just wanting to be our friend. That's a no from me, dog. We are currently sitting 103 overextension, which is not ideal. But, you know, there's cores coming, so it'll be fine. So we need to get the spy network going against Ormond. We just cleared out some rebels over in the east there. And so we're left trying to decide what to do. We can take land from England. Can't take land from Scotland because they're our ally. We can take land from Muscovy and potentially Kazan. Or even Lithuania. I don't know why we couldn't do all of those cores earlier and now we can. I'm a bit confused by that. But protect the power, obviously. We are going to have some rebels pop off here over on the east. So we'll just set these guys up to deal with them while we transport the 32 stack. So we did vassalize Ryazan as well. I forgot about that. I don't think they're going to do much with 2k in their army. There's the Astrakani separatists, and despite them being a 12k stack, our army is on its way to deal with that. So there's just one core left that we can't do until we complete other cores. And there's some more rebels that conveniently emerged on the army that was waiting to transport, so that's fine. Okay, so that's both sets of rebels dealt with over there. There's still two more sets of rebels that look like they're going to pop. The Gazikamuk and Great Horde rebels. So we're at 43 of 58. We could absolutely take on another group of mercs here to help. If we are going to do this whole English war thing. Which, let's face it, I think we're going to do. But look at the time, it's January 1495. So, realistically, bearing in mind that cores take... cores take 3 years. There's more rebels. They'll be dealt with soon enough, it's fine. They're just going to go back to their base and then they'll turn around. Cores take 3 years unless you have a claim, in which case it's 30 months instead of 36. And then there's a couple of other modifiers that can bring that down. But you are looking at... You have to get stuff finished pretty darn quickly in order to avoid disaster. Who wants to... Is that Genoa? Yeah. So we just check on Genoa. Do they... They're not at war. Couldn't hurt. Possibly. It could hurt. It could hurt very badly because you get caught into a war that ruins everything. Take another loan. And now we're going to see if we can convince Burgundy to fight on our side too. So we're waiting until we have... That's the final set dealt with over there. So we're going to take on foreign debt from Burgundy. And we're about to get our claim on Ormond. So fabricate the claim on wherever. You fit. I don't know how to pronounce that Irish. So we have our thing. Burgundy still won't come in. Why won't Burgundy come in? Burgundy will come in now. That's weird. They were saying they wouldn't. I wasn't making that up, right? It definitely said they wouldn't. And then when we added, maybe it was when we put England in as a co-belligerent, they were like, yeah, we want that. I think that's what happened there. So we're fighting this war. Mostly, oh, interesting. So England, oh, now what's happening there? Castile are at war with England. Telling Burgundy to go deal with Dithmarschen. Castile are at war with England. Why are Castile at war with England? So trying to balance this out well. We're trying to sucker the English in here because we have numbers and we have definitely superior troops. So if we can balance this right, we can get them to come in and just munch them. Great Horde Separatists are being a pain. I'm assuming we're going to deal with them in time. So the English army is in Cumbria right now. And they are marching into York. And look at that. I mean, we don't even have our troops up, but the difference, their morale difference is they're so much lower than us. We have a lot of morale, which is kind of invaluable. I'm gonna blow that fort open, and oh, I think we died. It's pretty rough timing. That 12k didn't even get in there. That's how much we won that. And then you automatically get a boost when you win a battle on a province that you are sieging. So that was doubly helpful. We obviously can't compete with the British Navy, so we're not trying. Scotland trying to siege down Ulster for us, which is very kind. We have finally nearly dealt with those. Oh, that's a quick siege on Ormond. That's very helpful. So we just move on to the next. And in fact, we're just going to do the old-fashioned. And by old-fashioned, this is actually kind of new-fashioned. The carpet sieging there. So there goes York. That's the war goal. No, it's not a war goal. It's just somewhere we have a claim in the English lands. Shame we didn't get that 21%, but you can't have a bank on getting a 21% siege. Can't bank on a 35. I mean, I've seen people lose 99s, so Okay, here they come again. And we just won the siege of Northumberland, so let's see where they go now. Looks like they're going to Scarborough, and they are committed. So they got there first. It's farmlands though, so it doesn't really matter. And again, look at that. So morale is 4.5 to 3.3. That's such a significant morale difference. It's looking. Oh, and there's more morale just for fun. Kickmaster. It's not looking good, honestly. It's really not looking good. I'm gonna play through till 1500, but I'm confident that this is not going to be a successful run. I'm still trying to figure out the best strategy for it, and there were definitely things that I did in this run that I think just were not the optimal way to do it. So yeah. Also, I guess full disclosure, for me this is a replay. Here's both my hands as my mouth moves, because first time around it was on mute by mistake, so I'm re-recording. I'm actually watching a video of me playing, so it's a little bit weird. So I know the outcome, but I'm playing dumb. But I can tell you it's not looking good. But as I stated, if you can go back and watch the rest of the run on my YouTube channel, also Zelgrax, and you'll see there that my plan is, if I fail, to try again, because this is an interesting challenge. I also like the fact that it's, by EU4 standards, quite short. Because some of the missions you can do are crazy, you know? Like, I recently just finished an Ideas Guy run, and that was insane. That went very long, into 1700s. That is a commitment. It's a big commitment. That was 30-something episodes of anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour. So it's considerable. I don't know why I'm taking on this fleet. That's a crazy idea. I should not be trying to take on this fleet, because the English fleet can come in at any moment and just wreck face. And my fleet is basically all transports, because that's what I need. I'm not trying to compete in the ocean, except right here where I am for some stupid reason. Really can't expect that. Hey, Ron. My dog just popped in to say hello. Alright, so the English are currently sieging down Dumfries as we siege down London, so it's kind of a race. We've now taken almost all of the Irish land that we need to, and we're getting ready to go jump on the army at Dumfries. Now there's another army in Northumberland. I don't know if I've noticed that yet. Kandahar is looking rough here. We're only 26% of the way through. I don't think that's going to finish before 1500 turns. I could be wrong, but it's not looking good. Really need the siege in London to go faster. Can't blow that up. Can assault. We're absolutely just going to have a little bit of autonomy. It doesn't matter in that situation because we're not turning that into a regular corps. So charging through here, it's expensive in terms of manpower, but it allows us to get off there. And now we're going to see what we can take from the English. And we can take some cheap provinces, which is great. Cheap provinces that we can core, because again, you got to start those cores early enough. So I take a quick peace with England in the end after taking London, and now all of a sudden it's just the Irish armies on Dumfries, and that is not as scary. There's like no dev to steal here apart from up there. So we core everything there. I dread to think what the overextension is, but those other cores in Eastern Europe are nearly done. So now this should be a pretty brutal fight. Yup, that was an ouch. Let's go to Tyrconnell so we can take that land as well. Scotland might take care of Orkney. Ulster, they are bound and determined to not disappear. They're going to disappear, but they really don't want to. So, Big Blue Blob progress is now 65. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've not had to do this before. Well, I say that. There was one other episode that was also muted. That one was 45 minutes. This one's quite long too. So I'm trying to... Some of it, I did that one at the same time. This one I'm vaguely keeping track of. I'm vaguely remembering. I can't believe we didn't get a stack wipe there. But I'm vaguely keeping track of what was going on. But yeah, it's post-commentating is weird. I don't typically like to do... I usually do little to no editing because I just don't have the time. Simple as that. I would like to. We're just going to yoink all of this. Dev again, making it cheaper to core. Yeah, I would really like to. I was just checking to make sure it would be finished in time. And we're pushing right up against that border of how quickly we can get these cores done. I'd like to edit, but yeah, I don't have the time. I've got a full-time job. I usually do overtime every week, so I just can't manage that. So this is about as good as it gets for me. We're going to drop the cannons off in Tyrconnell to help there. Who else is in this war? I think Dithmarschen is still in this war, right? So that's annoying. So we're going to go wipe out the army here from Tyrconnell and Ormond. I guess they still have an army. Not for long. We can finally get our ships out there to offer the barrage. And I think we just crushed his army. I wasn't even paying attention. They disappeared. So Clankraid and Dithmarschen. Where are Clankraid's troops? Are they over in the mainland? I see Dithmarschen's got some troops out there. They may be on boats, actually. Let's blow that open. What is military power when the world's ending in 2 years? You know? Okay, that's good. That's some of those cores in the east done, and now weirdly Castile will join in this war. No benefit to that, but thanks. They just ended their war with England, I guess. Which I guess was also their war with Portugal. No idea what they took. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't just pieced out with Clankraid already. Maybe they were being stubborn. Probably because they still have troops, actually. That's almost certainly what it is. Okay, so Tyrconnell. Just going to gobble them up. Not bothering to look at the coalitions at this point, because we just need to core everything. So this will be done in 31 months. Can't reduce that. 31 months is fine. That will just get done inside. But I got to close out with Ormond like now. We can afford 40 ducats, that's fine. There's Dithmarschen. So let's deal with Clankraid. There we go. So we'll take Connacht. They don't want to do Connacht. It's very irritating. They have like, what, 2k, 3k troops? That's it? They're putting up this fight? It's ridiculous. Don't even know where their troops are. They're hiding somewhere. Scotland kindly unsieging Orkney for us. I still think it's funny that Scotland wanted to be our friend again after we went to war with them. So we're going to go land on Dithmarschen just to get them out of the war. That'll make everyone else more inclined. Oh, and there we go. We don't even need to land on Dithmarschen because Ormond have already given up. So, that's almost all of Ireland taken. We are overextended again, but I think we might be able to see if we can trim that down any. Yes, a little. No, okay, so just a little. That may come down once it reevaluates. So at this point, we've almost run out of the ability to take land. We'll take that because why not? Any second now, we're going to realize. So we get the royal marriage with Burgundy, desperately hoping that we can get that Burgundian inheritance to fire that gives us the land we need. I think, is that all of the eastern land that's cored now? I think so, right? But it's too late to go conquer more land over there. That's the problem. Any second now we'll realize that I'm trying to land troops in Dithmarschen, even though I can't. So I'm up to 72. Okay. If the Burgundian inheritance were to fire, which it might, and then we get the inheritance thing where you just get all of the land, we'd be laughing. I think. Because we're working on that's a lot of cores that are coming over from the British Isles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's like 15 cores there. Burgundy has more than 15 provinces. And we're already at 70, what was it, 72? Something like that. I don't know why we're getting an alliance. Oh, I do know why we're getting an alliance. Because we are absolutely going to get a coalition all the way we've been conquering land. And the plan is, if we complete Big Blue Blob, then we go on to do Better Than Napoleon. Is that what it's called? Better Than Napoleon? Something like that. Where you have to take Moscow, London, Berlin, I think. Kandar is now... Ah, yes. Kandar's progress stopped because we ran out of Diplo. And I noticed that too late. So we need a Diplo rep guy, because we need the Diplo rep. So it's back to loans, so that we can elevate. I forgot about Canada in my calculations just now. Yeah, there's those guys are still trying to land there. Stop them. Bring them home. You should see me. I look so confused in the previous video. I was like, what are they doing? Okay, so we've got rid of that army because they're dead weight. And more importantly, their money. Now, what I need to do is level up that advisor, please. Am I going to do that? Sure. Reducing inflation. Good. That helps. Just losing the 9 ducats a month. Yep. That's right. Bump them up. And again. This is as much as we can do right now. We can take more loans, but... because we need to get into the positive again so that we can get Kandar. Because Kandar has... what is it, 8 provinces now, I think? And I will say, I do think that the Kandar approach was good. I don't think it was perfect, but I think it was good. We're under 100% overextension, so that's nice. We can at least deal with these rebels for now. In French Britain. That's fun. And, you know, if it wasn't for being a big blue blob run, this would be a pretty good start. There's a lot of area there in the Pontic Steppe which could become French Russia. Obviously, France is all pretty much under control. And then a pretty decent chunk of the English territory. And almost all of Ireland is gone. That's not a bad start for a run. Normally, I wouldn't go this hard in a run because, well, right now I'm kind of death spiraling intentionally. Yeah, that coalition is looking ugly. Ottomans are not happy with what I did over in the steppes. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta loot and pillage a bit. The main thing is, England can't join this coalition until after 1500. So that's fine. I think we may have just lost our peace with the Ottomans, though. So that's not fine. Because they could trigger that coalition. As could Nogai. Well, Nogai could join. And we're going to take another couple of loans here so we can level this guy up one more time. We're nearly into the positives here. And as soon as we're in the positives, we're fine. We can continue annexing Kandar. I mean, claims boarding claims is another option for doing this, because I still think there's a strong argument to be made for taking land in Norway and getting into Novgorod. But I'm a big fan of the no CB war into the east. We actually... Okay, so... I missed that date. Reading too fast. Take a bit of corruption. Why not? Venice is in charge of things here. That's not really worth it. There's nothing else we can do here. I think I'm desperately looking to see what can be done here. And what we're going to do is take some more loans so that we can get some more... Try and get some indulgences. Boost the relations with the papacy. The idea being that we can get the Diplo rep boost from there to try and help get Kandar over the line. Because that's still the goal there. Get Kandar over the line. We've lost the annexed vassals thing. So we're up to a pretty good Diplo rep. And now it's going to be done 1501. So that's still like 20 months too late. Now, had we have not had that period where I'd run out of Diplo rep, Diplo points, maybe it would be a different story. Got a crazy amount of rebels getting ready to pop off. But thankfully we have some spare military power. And again, if we don't get this done by December 31st, 1499, then nothing else matters. So, burn baby burn. I got Welsh separatists. Oh, I remember. Many moons ago, I did the Home and Away achievement off screen, which is where you play as Wales, and you have it's all based on rugby, which I love. So you've got to have the capitals of the other Six Nations countries. Brilliant. So that's fun because you start as England, basically destroy your country, and then take over with Wales. It's a little bit like I've seen it done. Who was it? We're getting rid of more troops here because we've decided we don't need them. Trying to balance out the money game. What's his name? Arumba did Where's All the Rum, where you have to start as Asturias and form rum, which is a crazy mission. And to do that, he basically destroyed Castile and then left. Did a lot of bordering claims to get like all the way around the Mediterranean to get some land over there in the sort of Turkey area. Crazy. And the Wales one was a little bit like that. In the end, I mean, I had I don't know, 6 colonies. This is going back several versions, so it's before you had the weird colonies that you have now from Leviathan. But yeah, I mean, you know, took over. I think I went Church of Wales, Church of England, but Church of Wales. Just looking at my cores, making sure they're going to be done. But yeah, I had Church of Wales. I had, took over Rome, took over Paris. It's just fun having like this giant whales everywhere. Still waiting to see. Now, because he has a weak claim, that's what gives you the possibility for this to happen. You just need old Charles to die, and then it can be a thing. Reducing inflation, just trying to balance out the money. It doesn't really matter ultimately unless everything works. If everything works, then great. Realizing now that we don't need that guy, and he's crippling our economy. But we need the Diplo rep, but we don't need him to be a level 4 Diplo rep guy. We just gained the Restoration of Union CB on Burgundy. But here's the thing. Because Marie just became Duchess. So it's Burgundy inheritance stuff. Problem is, we could take that land and get the CB, but we're not going to be able to inherit it. It fired, but it fired wrong. That's what happened there. So we dissolve the alliance so that we can attack. Grab the troops, bring them over. So there's so many different ways that the Burgundy inheritance can fire, and there's some cores. It can fire in so many different ways, and I tried recently looking at it to see if I can make head or tail of it as to how you can try to engineer it and what to expect, and I gave up because the wiki is complicated. That's kind of where I got to. It's a huge stab hit. Oh well. All or nothing, right? Embrace the death spiral. And we have no admin to get out of the -3 stab. No Diplo to get out of the war exhaustion. But we've called everybody in. There's 7 months left, and now just insane coalition is forming because we did that truce break. But even if we win this, we would have to immediately inherit. We'd have to win it by December, which is obviously not looking good. And then we'd have to magically inherit their land. And that's not looking very likely either. Yet this coalition is about to get insane in the membrane, I think. We do still have a little while left on this video, though. So it's probably going to slow down a little bit here. Obviously, we're going to blow everything open that we can. Keep misclicking, and then I don't have enough cannons in that army. Here come the Castilians and Aragonese. So this war is fine in and of itself. Coalition is ugly. Coalition is very ugly. There's a lot of shades of pink and an alarming amount of red. I've had some pretty meaty coalition wars in my time. This is up there, for sure. Up to 80 provinces right now, and I've still got 6 cores on my, so that's 86. And those should finish before the end of the year. So 86. Kandar would take me over 90, I think, but I don't know if it's going to finish in time. That goes to show you how close this. I mean, it's very close. Very close. Part of the problem is right now, I'm obviously not taking this land quickly enough. Because you gotta be on that real sharp. I don't know whose rebels that was that Burgundy just fought, but thanks, because they were in my land. Coalition just growing and growing and growing. Karabakh want access? Sure. Why not? Okay, there's Picardy. Next. So, restoration of union requires 60%, and I'm assuming will not help. Whew, the coalition. That's a big coalition right there. That's a big coalition. They didn't want to do it at 12%. I'm shook. I'm shook and I'm stunned, and oh, that's coalition war declared by Würzburg, and it's December. So that's not great. But hear me out. Coalition wars, you can get out of pretty easily. I mean that looks bad. I'll grant you that looks bad. But all of our allies came to our aid, which is awfully sweet of them. So you've got Castile, Genoa, Lithuania, Portugal. Everyone's in there, which is great. Now let's see if we can piece out of that war. And what's great is we can give up other people's land. For instance, the Outer Hebrides and Inner Hebrides, that's Scottish territory. Bye-bye. Don't need that. What else can we do? That is Papal land, and that is one French one, Dauphine. So I don't think we're Dauphiné. But that'll end the war right there. So it does mean giving up one of our things. But also 2 of Scotland's and 1 of the Popes. So, you know. Oh, now. We're just looking to see what are the larger provinces here. We could give one up from Kandar. Here's the thing, if we give one up from Kandar, it makes Kandar cheaper to annex. It'd put them over 100%. So I'd get those provinces. Okay, so that way I don't think we have to give up Dauphiné. We do not. And it makes Kandar cheaper. I know it was 8 prestige and no land. I mean, how is that not a win? Happily do that more often. Okay, that got them to 98.5 for Kandar. They may or may not complete there. So Provence took that land from the Pope. Big whoop. The Isles got some more land, because the Isles existed again after England somehow lost them. The stability and war exhaustion is not great right now. But hey, we've nearly done coring. And they'll be done 4 days before the end. So that's pretty close. But alas, we have just 24 days left in the final year. Kandahar, nearly enough. Big Blue Blob at 82. But I don't... There's the course. So that's what, 86? 86. And that's it. That's all she wrote. I don't think there's no way to do it. If the Burgundian inheritance had fired earlier, that may have worked. But it didn't. Obviously, the situation the world is in right now is apocalyptically bad. We have a truce with pretty much all of Europe. Pretty much. Which is honestly good. I don't even know if it would be salvageable from here. I'm just going to take a little screenshot. Well, old me is taking a little screenshot for posterity. Oh, there it is. I knew I was going to take it. Now I've got to take it again because I wasn't hovering over the thing. There we go. Yes, better than Napoleon. There it is. Oh, Vienna we have to take as well. So yeah, I mean, we got close. But it wasn't to be this run. And that's okay. Because I'm going to do it again. Kandahar is about to pop here. Well, thank you. I'm glad you nearly bought it. It was frustrating because it was possible. It was really possible. Well, now just the whole thing is just in an impressive nosedive here. With there we go, only -2 stab, so that's fine. But yeah, it's bad. Oh, there you go. Kandahar's about to be annexed. Just a smidge late. Well, the money is actually almost in line despite having 10 loans. That's pretty good. I mean, it was showing -30 ducats, so yeah. Alas. It's frustrating. But it opened up a lot of good ideas. One thing I'm realizing now is that there's cores that France owns that you get as part of the what's it called, Azur semé de l'Or. That mission where you have to take all of the French cores. Here's the thing. Those cores, you don't need those early. There's Kandahar, February 1st. Came in a little bit late. And now we've lost strong duchies because of course we have. And we get a mission, random mission. But yeah, there's those cores you can get at any time because they will immediately become your cores when you reconquer them. So I went really hard to get my cores off England and tried to get cores back from Burgundy. There's no rush on that. There's no reason why you can't do that in 1499. You don't have to wait for them to core like you do the other land. So I need to make sure that I leave those till late, as long as England doesn't get too big. And that's kind of critical, right? As long as England doesn't get too big, so I can't defeat them. So I need strong allies, and then I need to be tactically with it. And just doing what I've done before, which is utilizing Scotland as a base and marching south from Scotland. I think that's the way to defeat England. But I mean, they got a big foothold in northern France because they conquered Brittany instead of us. That was bad. And when you're trying to balance all of your aggressive expansion, it is hard to take that Breton territory when you're also taking land elsewhere. And if you've aggravated everybody by doing an OCB war in Eastern Europe, it's then hard to take that land in Brittany. So yeah, it's complicated. But I think between leaving the cores till late, because you can, and focusing, just trying to do as good a job as balancing the fronts, balancing the eastern front when you do your no CB war, because I think that's critical. I don't think you can do this without doing something like that. I think it's just too important to have that extra front out there, even though you get the aggressive expansion by doing the no CB war and then eating up a bunch of land. I think you have to do it. I don't think you could do a second one to go into like Novgorod. Now, whether you could just no CB Novgorod if they're independent. I don't know if they start independent or if they're part of Muscovy. I think they start independent, right? So you could start there rather than doing Circassia, which is what I've done before. I don't know which. Yeah, I don't know which is the optimal way. That's complicated. But doing something along those lines, I think, would be go away, fly. Would be the right way to do it. And I mean, I've done a little bit of research on this. Obviously, I didn't go into this completely blind. And hey, look, Burgundy's ready to take unification. It's just upset the world. But of course, the problem is you can't integrate under normal circumstances without until after 50 years have passed. So that basically means that a PU is useless. More or less. You'd have to have the because it also takes time. Yeah, I don't think there's any way that you can realistically get a PU. It's weird that the internal conflicts disappeared and now we're getting peasant war instead. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, we're basically at the end here. I'm looking for allies just in case, because I mean, I don't know why, because I've obviously lost. And if I've lost, then there's no point in carrying on, ultimately. It's a shame it has to be European territory, because gobbling up land in North Africa would make it so much easier. Or even South Africa. There's a lot of cheap territory that you could take elsewhere. But I don't know if it's cheaper than out east. I mean, Lithuanian land would be great. Lithuania is very cheap land. There's a lot of low valley provinces that you could just rip through. Because again, it's just province count. And so you want to make the most of those cheap ones. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the end of it, I think. We gave it our best. The death spiral is pretty horrific here, because there's a second coalition already building up. Which, I mean, wouldn't necessarily be the end of the world, I suppose. But also it's kind of the end of the world. But what we are going to do...
My microphone has been muted this whole time.
Oh, I've just discovered that
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to have to re-record over that. So if you're seeing this,
here, I'm going to...
You will have heard me talking the whole time. So I guess I know what I'm going to be doing now.
There I am.
It's going through and figuring out which ones I did. Oh boy. Wow. That's really frustrating. That's been a while. It's been about an hour. Oh, thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you in the next one. What I was just saying was I'll do something else, but now I'm just going to have to record audio again. So I'm going to record audio again. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you in the next one. We'll try this again soon. Don't worry. I want to get this achievement. I mean, I got close. Like, I got to what was it, 86? I needed 14 more provinces. I think I just needed... This is a good angle to go. The no CB war against Circassia, I think, is clearly the better play. Kandar was not the right choice.
Okay, I'm going to mute past me there for a second, because I've already talked about that. So we don't need to go over that again. So here's future me again, or present me, whichever. But yeah, so I've already talked about doing that angle. I was just talking about that now. So we're not going to listen to old me talk about that again. But you get the idea. And you'll be pleased to know that I have already started that second run. And that'll be going up on the YouTube starting next Monday. And in fact, we're going to jump back into that right now on Twitch. So if you're here on Twitch, congratulations. You get to see that. And there's the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.